This is operating session number 55 on the Mopac lines. This is the switch list for the westbound train, which is going to leave Neff Yard. We've gathered up the train at 5 o'clock. We're going to depart at 5:15. And our first stop will be Kansas City, Kansas. There's no switching there. Then on to Wagstaff, and there's no switching there. So on this session, this train is going to be, most of its switching duties are going to be on the second half of the session. So right now, it's mostly going to orbit. And we'll get started here. Oh, we're gonna... Okay, we're ready to start the eastbound train. And we're going to pull the first section out of the yard while the first train is still orbiting. And we'll back up to get the rest of the train. And of course, they don't always couple. Drop it down. There, we got it. Now clear of the yard, we'll get up to road speed and realign the switchback for the main. And we're ready for our first switching move. Okay, our eastbound train is coming up in the vicinity of its first switching move. And what we need to do is drop the train at this point before the crossover so we can go pick up some more cars to tack on the back of the train. Okay, we're going to run the locomotive's light forward to the first switching assignment, where we're going to go to the Wind River Co-op and pick up our charges. Okay, the locomotives have just come out of the tunnel, and we're going to throw the switch to go into the industry siding. The first destination, we're going to pick up 2 flat cars that carry farm equipment at the loading dock there, and then we'll back up and pick up the grain cars from the grain elevator. There we go. Okay, now clear of the industrial siding, we realign the switch and we'll push the cars forward to access the crossover, which we will utilize to tack them on the back of the train. We have to wait for the other train to clear. Because we're going to use that track as a partial runaround movement. Having one train orbit while the other train is switching simulates the heavier traffic you would see on a double track main line. Okay, now we can proceed. We'll throw the switches. Now, because this train is longer than it normally is for this session, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to uncouple the locomotives here so I don't have to try to uncouple them in the tunnel. And then we'll just pull these back where we normally have left them. Okay, now we'll throw our switches back. And we'll go get the rest of the train. And here comes our work train. We'll throw our switches. And we'll back up and get the rest of the train. Pull the slack. We got it. Oop, not quite. And we throw the switches back to line for the main. And that switching maneuver is completed. So now we'll allow our train to do 2 laps of the layout to simulate time and distance, and then we'll go to our next stop, and that'll be in the next installment.